Good morning, students. In today's class, we will see how the non-communicable diseases can be prevented. So, we can take care of the non-communicable diseases by having a balanced diet. I'm sure you know what a balanced diet is. It is a right mix of all the nutrients in proper amount. So, here you can see in figure 4.14 what are the items present in a balanced diet. Now, depending on the age of the person, the condition of the person, the balanced diets are different ones. Now, if we don't take the balanced diet, what will happen then? Then the diseases will occur, and such diseases will be called deficiency diseases. For example, if carbohydrate is less in our balanced diet, then the deficiency will be the person feels tired, inactive, and lethargic. And the meaning of lethargic is being lethargic means deficient in alertness and activeness. And if the person takes much of the carbohydrates in his diet, then the person becomes obese. Obese means overweight, fatty. Then deficiency of fats, the person will suffer with weak eyesight, will have dull skin, and if overconsumption of fat is there, then the person once again becomes obese. Then protein deficiency will make the person suffer from stunted growth, discoloration of the hair, swelling of face, skin problems, diarrhea, and swollen abdomen. Some of the protein deficiency diseases we have already taken. And then overconsumption of protein, it may be harmful for kidneys. Then vitamins and minerals. Deficiency of vitamins and minerals will be the ability to fight diseases reduces and person feels weak. And if we are taking more of the vitamins and minerals, then it leads to digestive and growth related disorders. So students, if we are depending on a single type of diet, then although it is beneficial to have that particular nutrient in good amount, but if we are consuming it in somewhat more amount, then once again we are going to have some complications. So we should have a proper diet, not too much, not too less. Now come to page number 65. There you can see the heading calories. Now what the calories are? As students, you know the unit of weight is grams or kilograms. Likewise, the unit of time is, sometimes we say, seconds, hours, or minutes. Likewise, the energy is also measured in terms of calories. So calories, it is one of the unit of measuring the energy. Now junk food like chow mein, samosas, your cold drinks also, it comes under the junk food category. Now junk food has more calories but little nutritional values. So we should be very careful while taking these things, or rather we should stop altogether taking these things. Now if we need to remain fit and healthy, then we should have good eating habits like eat at regular intervals and avoid overeating, chew the food properly so that it can be digested easily, drink at least 3-5 liters of water every day to eliminate toxic waste from the body. Then wash your hands with soap before eating to remove dirt and germs. So by following these habits, we can prevent the non-communicable diseases. We should also have proper exercise and rest. After a proper exercise, what will happen? Our body, our blood circulation, our body will be active, our blood circulation will be more, and more of the oxygen or fresh air will be passed to our different body tissues. Then we should also have proper amount of rest and sleep. Now some other ways to prevent non-communicable diseases are participate in outdoor games, encourage people to avoid smoking and drinking habits, monitor blood pressure, blood sugar, and blood cholesterol from time to time. Now test yourself. So I'm solving it for you people. So I have solved it for you people. Now next topic is hygiene. So what is this hygiene? Hygiene refers to conditions and practices that help to maintain health and prevent the spread of diseases. Now that personal hygiene is there. So hygiene is basically divided into two main groups, that is personal hygiene and community hygiene. So personal hygiene means maintaining personal cleanliness. And how we can maintain this personal cleanliness? By following certain rules, and I hope these things you already know. By having daily bath, brushing our teeth twice a day, washing or cleaning our hairs, cutting our nails at regular interval of time, washing our clothes, wearing well ironed clothes, keeping eyes clean, washing our hands before and after the meal. So in personal hygiene, oral hygiene comes where we take care of our teeth, tongue, then eye care, taking care of our eyes also, then taking care of our hairs. Now students, test yourself from page number 69. Give any two steps you should take for each of the following, like personal hygiene, eye care, oral hygiene, hair care. So any 2 points you need to write, and you can find the answers from page number 66, 67 and 68 likewise. So do it yourself. Then apart from personal hygiene, the next level of hygiene is community hygiene. So what does it mean? Students, we know that by following the personal hygiene or adapting to the personal hygiene, we can keep ourselves healthy and fit. But what about if our neighborhood, it is having some sort of cleanliness issues? If there is so much of garbage in our neighbor, then surely we will also contract the disease. So it means not only at our personal or individual level, but hygiene should also be followed at a community level. So we should have safe drinking water facility. At homes we can use water purifiers. If we are not having water purifiers, then we can boil water for 15 minutes to kill the germs. We can also add chlorine tablets or bleaching powder to kill the germs in the water. Then we should have a proper place for the disposal of wastes. So proper disposal of waste, we can have dumping sites where we can dump the waste. So garbage and solid waste is dumped in pits in low-lying areas away from human habitation. Of course, we are not going to throw the garbage to those places, but yes, the municipality vans, trucks, they will do so. Then composting is another way of getting rid of the waste. So what do we do in composting? In composting, the waste materials is converted into manure. Vegetables and fruit peels, dry leaves, farm waste, dead plants and excreta of animals are biodegradable. So this means that they can be decomposed by microorganisms. Such waste is dumped into pits which are then covered with the soil. Then you know what will happen, the microorganisms present in the soil will convert this waste into compost. And if we are taking the help of earthworms for the composting process, then such a phenomenon is called vermicomposting. Vermicomposting means composting done by the help of earthworms. So here you can see figure 4.24. Then we should have proper sewage treatment plants In sewage treatment plants, generally the sewage water is treated. So the sewage from the household, it is treated in very big plants where the solid waste is removed and is converted into a form of manure, and the water, it is released into the water bodies like rivers, etc. Now this water is not that much polluted as it was when it was present in the household sewer. Students, we can recycle the waste also. Some materials like paper, metals, glass and some plastics can be recycled and used again. And this reduces the burden on natural resources. Then there are many other services provided by municipalities, which are as follows: places for recreation like parks and gardens, health services and vaccination facilities, and so many points are written over there. Preventing alcohol and drug addiction, managing environment pollution. Then there is test yourself, and students, you need to do these questions yourself only. You can answer the questions in not more than 50 words. Okay, 50 words. Less than 50 words you can answer these. So we have completed this chapter, and in next video we will discuss some of the question answers from the chapter. Till now we have not taken any activity, but you can go through the activities yourself. Goodbye.